Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to give you a very thorough overview of the article here. I will perhaps read through certain sections of the article. There is a link in the description. I will be showing you quite a few pictures as well of the victims. Don't worry, none of them are graphic pictures. Also of the premises, of the general location. And I do need to let you know it is a tragedy. It's also a mystery. We don't know the full details. This is something which occurred on Sunday afternoon. Of course, it was very early in the investigation. Further to that, it does appear that the police have information or likely have information in regards to the crimes that they're not telling the public at this point in time. So I dare say that all the information will come out over the next while, however long that may take days, may take weeks or months or even years. But there certainly are a few holes to the story at this point in time. As I say, it is a tragedy. It involves the deaths, the killings, the murders of 4 students from the University of Idaho. This happened at an off-campus property in a town called Moscow, Idaho, approximately 80 miles away from Spokane. I'm going to read out the names of the 4 victims, 4 murder victims. 20-year-old Ethan Chapin, 21-year-old Madison Mogan, 20-year-old Zana Konodal, 21-year-old Kaylee Goncalves. Apologies if I have any of the pronunciations incorrect, but 1 young man, 20-year-old Ethan Chapin, and 3 young ladies, all students at the University of Idaho, all found deceased at this property, this one property, again, King Road in Moscow, Idaho, about 80 miles away from Spokane. Somebody called the police, somebody called the authorities and said that there was 1 unconscious person at the property. The police arrived and tragically they found and were able to identify 4 deceased victims, the 4 students from the University of Idaho. So I am wondering, this is speculation, you can throw this aside. There's no real base to what I'm about to say, but I am wondering whether or not it's possible that the person that called the authorities, if they're somehow connected, perhaps they're not, perhaps they're a neighbor, perhaps they were walking the dog and happened to catch a glimpse of somebody perhaps on the porch of the property, is what I'm thinking, perhaps. As I say, the police and the authorities seem to know more than they're informing the public at this point in time. The mayor of the town, Moscow, has described the 4 deaths as being a crime of passion, as well as senseless acts of violence. Further to that, the mayor of the local town has said that the deaths were targeted and a one-off situation, meaning that the local residences, the community at large, don't need to fear any other similar attacks. They don't need to be fearful of, a mass murderer on the loose. But we're not told of any suspects. I'm going to get back to the pictures in just a moment. I just want to check a quick detail. We're not told about any details about any suspects. We're told that police have not taken any suspects into custody as of Monday, but they feel confident that there is no threat to the rest of the local community and the rest of the school community, which confuses me. That confuses me. It would make sense to me if the police and the mayor are so confident in reassuring the other students of the University of Idaho, and the local residents of this town, Moscow, if the police are that confident that there's not going to be any further violent attacks by the culprit, then to me, and forgive me, but that would kind of make sense to me if it happened to be a murder-suicide. If they felt that one of the victims, one of the deceased, were the culprit, then it would make sense to say to the community, the school community, the local community, that hey, there is no need to fear of further violence. But there is no mention within this article in regards to suicide. And apologies if mentioning that has offended anybody. Of course, I don't wish to besmirch any of the victims, but we are not given any information in regards to how the victims died. We're just told that somebody that we don't know contacted the authorities to mention that an unconscious person was at the home, and even that's pretty vague and lacking details. The police arrived and they discovered 4 deceased bodies. So I will show you the pictures. So we'll start with this top picture. And I'm going to say something which, again, some may find offensive. It's not the typical thing that I typically say, but I will in this case. I feel a little bit uncomfortable about mentioning this. But I am going to mention that all 4 of them, but particularly the 2 blonde ladies, I have to say they are particularly attractive. I don't like saying that because what does it matter? Is that relevant? I mean, probably not. Probably not, which is why I don't normally mention such things in this type of topic. I mean, this is a very dark topic. We're looking at 4 victims of murder. And here I am making a trivial comment in regards to their appearance. But I am making that comment just in case it is relevant. Because, again, it does seem that all 4 of them, particularly the 2 blonde ladies, in my mind, could be models. Again, is that relevant? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't at all. But, that's something that's struck me, is how attractive they are as a group. But the 2 blonde ladies in particular, in my opinion, again, I've just mentioned maybe it is relevant. Maybe jealousy was a factor here. I don't know. Maybe these are social media influencers. I really don't know. But there we go. So I can try to identify who they are for you. So top left is Madison Mogan, and bottom left is Kaylee Goncalves. So Madison Mogan, top left, Kaylee Goncalves. The gentleman, Ethan Chapin, and Zaina Knodel on the right here, the brunette Zaina Knodel. And it appears, with the pictures that we can see, that Ethan and Zaina are in a relationship together, a physical relationship. It appears that there's another lady, a blonde lady here at the premises. So this photo was taken just a few hours before the discovery of their bodies. I believe I'm right in saying. I think I read that. We're not told about this lady here, who's seemingly a close friend of the group, part of the group. So as I say, it is a mystery. We're not told, as I say, about how they died, how they were killed. Again, I'm going to reiterate, there's no mention of suicide. I am mentioning it, though, because to me, as I say, I'm trying to figure out why the police, the authorities, are so confident in being able to say that there's no threat to the school community, there's no threat to the local community. How can they be that confident unless they had the suspect, they knew who the suspect was and they had them in custody, or if they were aware that the suspect, the perpetrator, was deceased? So that's why, I'm wondering if this is a murder-suicide. But again, there's no mention of that within the article. The police have not mentioned suicide at all. I'm just kind of thinking, stretching, speculating. In any event, that is the information that we have at this point in time. Perhaps I'll do a follow-up video should more information come out. It would depend on the additional information when that comes out, etc. But I'll keep an eye on this case a little bit. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe. Of course, full condolences to everybody concerned, the families, the parents, the siblings of all four of the deceased, their schoolmates, their college mates, their friends from their hometowns that they grew up in, their teachers, their lecturers, everyone at the University of Idaho. Of course, another similar tragedy has befallen the University of Virginia in regards to a shooting which happened over the weekend as well, I believe, or perhaps that happened on Monday. I'm about to look into that. There's been other tragedies at universities over the last few days in America, at colleges. So full condolences to everyone. I hope that the police are able to make progress with their search, with their investigation. I suspect that they will, because it seems to me that they're expressing a lot of confidence in regards to what they do know. So they're not releasing all the information that they have, but they seem to be very confident with what they have. The suspect hasn't been detained. So that, again, the article has just said that the police haven't mentioned any details about a suspect. And for now, that's all the information we have. So hopefully I've done a half decent job in covering this topic. Again, I don't wish to be disrespectful by mentioning their appearances. I just kind of feel that it may be relevant. Perhaps it's not. Perhaps I should not comment on such things. But in any case, I'm going to wrap things up. Take care.